This is how you can unlock words in English for confidence and clarity in every conversation. Imagine enjoying speaking in English when the words just flow naturally with ease. Maybe it sounds hard to believe, but you're going to understand by the end of this short video. This training is not just about learning vocabulary. It's about creating that strong foundation for your communication with other people in English. So let's jump right in, and we're going to make English words your new best friend. That's my goal here in this video. But before we get started, I want to share a percentage with you, a number. This is the number or the percentage of people who tell me that their number one problem when speaking English is vocabulary. You can see 75%. Most people tell me this. And the truth is that this is not always true. The main problem is not always a vocabulary, it's something else, which I'll share with you later on in this video as well. But for now, we're talking about vocabulary. Let me adjust my screen here so you can see this a bit more clearly, and let's get started. So we have a system called the overall system, which really helps people speak English fluently. And as you can see, part of this system is vocabulary. So what I'm going to do with you here in this short training is share with you the 6 key steps to mastering English vocabulary. The first one is setting a goal. Then we have learning words in phrases. Number 3 is the input, where you get these words. Number 4 is how you can record these words. Number 5, maybe most importantly, is actually using the words. And finally, I'm going to share with you a lifestyle activity that you can do every week to make sure you're developing your vocabulary. So let's start with a goal. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a goal for vocabulary? Maybe you're thinking, yeah, I have a goal. I want to improve my vocabulary. That's not going to help you, right? Remember, a goal needs to be specific. So how much vocabulary do you want to learn? How many words do you want to learn every day? Can you answer those questions? Not yet? Well, let me help you answer those questions now, because it's very important. So I'll give you a little bit of background and help you to set a daily goal here. So the good news is that there are 1,000 words. 1,000 words that account for 80% of all of the language that you are going to encounter in your business or in your daily life. 1,000 words. That's great news. I hope you can appreciate that, right? That we have these high frequency words that appear all of the time. So if you can master the top 1,000 words in English, you're going to be comfortable in most situations. And for setting a daily goal, well, you can set yourself a goal of a number of words per day. Now, before I jump into this, I want to make sure that you don't make the big mistake. Most people, when I'm talking to them about vocabulary, they're full of enthusiasm and they say, yeah, okay, I'm going to learn 10 words a day. I'm going to learn 15, 20 words a day. Don't overwhelm yourself. The key here is to be consistent. Okay? So you're going to be doing this for a long time, for up to a year. Right? So pick a number that you can maintain a little bit every day. There's no point in going crazy for 3 days, right? You want to do a little bit every day. So over the years, the most effective, the most suitable number that I've come up with is 3. 3 words per day. Okay, this is something that you can do, you can continue to do, and you can stay consistent with 3 words a day. And that is more than 1,000 words in 1 year. Okay, so you decide. You can choose 5 words a day. That's over 1,800 words in a year. Choose how big of a focus is this for now, for you right now? Maybe it's 2 words, 3 words, 5 words. Don't go more than 10 words. Okay, so set yourself a goal. That's the first most important thing here. The second thing is, how do we get these words? Or really what I want to do here is change the way you see this, because traditionally in classrooms and English teachers, and English books, they have lists of words, right? Maybe you do a chapter in a book. This unit is about hobbies, for example, and they have this list of words. All these words are in the chapter, or maybe you have them in alphabetical order at the back of the book, and the teacher gives you a test of 20 words in that chapter. This is terrible. This is not the way the brain learns language. Lists of words that are not connected. What you want to do is you want to learn phrases. A phrase is a group of words. Okay, so now I say phrases. It could be sentences, but it's groups of words together. So you're learning in chunks. You're not just learning individual words. Maybe you can already understand the power of this, right? So let me give you an example. We're talking about natural chunks of words. So these are words that are often found together. So for example, you want to learn the word appreciate. Okay, so maybe, this word comes up in my coaching all of the time for some reason, and often it's a new word for people. So the first thing they think is, okay, appreciate. Write it down, the word appreciate, and translate it into their language. No. That's not how you do it. What you want to do is you want to learn it as part of a phrase or a sentence. For example, I have a friend called James, and everyone loves to have James around because he's such a happy guy. And he always sees those little things in life, and he really appreciates everything. James appreciates the little things in life. He wakes up early and he looks out the window and he can see the sun shining, and he appreciates that. He appreciates the birds singing. To appreciate is to really see the value in something, to enjoy something. Okay, so if you want to learn this word, you want to learn it as part of a group of words or a sentence here, right? James appreciates the little things in life. So when you do it this way, you're really learning a little story or a picture. And that's what the brain is going to remember. The brain is not going to remember just one word on its own. But if you think about, at the end of this video, if I ask you, tell me about my friend. What did I say about my friend James? Right? You're going to remember that short, tiny little story I told you about James, who appreciates the little things in life. So it's a little story, and it's easy to remember. Remember, the brain is a web, right? The more connections we can link to this new word, the better, the stronger the memory. So learn words and phrases is going to help you to remember, but also, excuse me, also you will learn the grammar automatically. Okay, so again, this is one of the big problems with traditional ways, and classrooms and teachers, they teach grammar rules. So people are trying to learn English like it's mathematics, right? Verb plus subject, es, verb ing, but this is not language. This is not the way the brain learns a language. But if you remember, James appreciates the little things in life, you're automatically getting the grammar in context in as well. And you'll remember then that appreciates has an S on the end in this sentence. Okay, so this is a bonus. You learn the grammar as well, but the main point here is that it improves your memory. It's easier to remember. On top of that, you get pronunciation, you get rhythm, you get fluency. So you want to speak English fluently. Fluently means that the language flows without too much thinking, so you're not blocked. When you learn words in individual words like that, you've too much work in your brain to do if you want to speak with someone. Right? You're thinking about the grammar rules, you get one word and then you think about what verb goes there and then how do I conjugate the verb, then what other word. It's too much work. So if you learn it as part of a little story, you get the pronunciation, you get the fluency, you get the rhythm. James appreciates the little things in life, right? You're hearing the rhythm, you're getting the tone, you're getting the pronunciation, you're getting the grammar, and you're going to remember that word. So that is huge. That is number 2. Don't learn words on their own. Learn them as part of a little story, or learn them in phrases. Learn in chunks. Got it? Let's jump on then to number 3. Input. So you know you need to have a goal. You know that you need to learn in chunks. Where do you get this language? Do you get it in an English book? In a grammar book? Not the best way to get it. If you know me, you know that I'm always promoting the idea of natural, real English. We can learn so much from nature, right? So you want to be getting the new words in real situations, real input, real language. So where can you do that? Well, first of all, reading. That's the number 1, the best source for you to get your new vocabulary in English is by reading in English. The second best way is by listening, right? So you could be listening to audiobooks, you could be listening to podcasts, you could be listening to anything you could be listening to in English, right? Important, try to keep it to your level. You should understand about 80% of what you're reading or what you're listening to. That's the golden ratio, right? 80%, and then you have that extra 20% to learn new words in context. What do you read? What do you listen to? Read and listen to things that are related to your passion, related to your life. What do you love? What are you interested in? If it's boring, stop. Find something that you're passionate about. And of course, related to your professional field, related to your business. Most people that I help, they need English for business. So we help them to create a plan where they're getting this input with the language related to their business. Next, you've got your goal. You know you need to learn in chunks. You've got places to get this vocabulary from. You need to record it. And there are many ways. Over the years, I've had very complicated systems with forms where you fill in all these things and flashcards. Flashcards are great, by the way, but I want to boil it down to the most important thing here because I know you're busy. So I'm bringing it down to 3 things that you need if you want to record new vocabulary. The first thing you need to write down is the definition, but in English, not in your own native language. Okay, I don't have time in this video to talk about how important this is. Trust me, stop translating. If you can understand 80% of what I'm saying now, you're at a level where you should not be translating anymore. There's no time to be translating when you're trying to speak English to someone else. You need to get rid of that habit as soon as possible. So you need to write down what does the word mean, but in English. Use words you already understand to create a new definition in English. The second thing is you can write down, remember that picture, the original sentence. James, can you remember it? James appreciates the little things in life, right? You write down that original sentence if you got it in a book or you got it from a podcast. And then step number 3 is the magic bullet. This is how you're going to create that neural pathway in your brain so you never forget this word. It is to create your own new sentence related to your life. This is the highest level of processing. This is how you're going to remember that word. So you create your own sentence related to your situation. They are the 3 key items, the 3 key ways to create a record so you never forget. Finally, no, not finally. Fifthly, use it. All right, you get a new word in a book you're reading. You know this. You've had this experience before. You get a new word, you like it, you say, oh, appreciate. Yeah, I like that word. Next time you're speaking to someone in English, you think, oh, I can. What's that word again? You can't find it. Why? Because you never used it. You have to use it. What do we say? We say use it or lose it. You know this already, right? You have to use it. You can use it yourself. You can talk to yourself, right? When you're alone, I know you don't want other people to think you're crazy, but self-talk, speaking to yourself, you're using the new vocabulary, you're creating that, you're strengthening that neural pathway, so it's going to be there when you need to use it next time. Talk to yourself, use the new vocabulary. Use it in your life. If you have an opportunity to speak with other people, use it in your conversations. Use it in your workplace. Okay? As I said, a lot of people I'm working with, they need it for work, so you need to use it in those scenarios. And practice. Every time you're practicing the language, if you're practicing playing with a new way to use the language, use your new vocabulary. If you don't have a place to practice or to use your new vocabulary, well, you can comment below, activate. We have the best coaching program on planet Earth for people who need to speak English fluently within 1 year. Okay, and we have coaching, we have live communication practice, we role play real life scenarios, and our students come with their new vocabulary all of the time, and they use it in the sessions, in the live sessions, and that's how they get to use it. So if you need that, if you want that extra step, comment activate below, and myself or someone in the team will reach out to you and tell you how you can apply to join this program. Finally, we have the activity I said I was going to share with you. Number 6, we call this mining, vocabulary mining. And this is the best activity that I have come across to help you remember new vocabulary. This is powerful stuff. Let me quickly tell you about it now. So vocabulary mining is one of we have lots of lifestyle activities. Everything has to be part of a lifestyle, right? Stop studying English, start living English, right? It's all part of a lifestyle. And this is one of our most popular lifestyle activities. It's called vocabulary mining, and this is how you do it. So you have something you're reading in English. Yes, we've already spoken about this. So step 1 is to find something to read, a page or a paragraph that you're going to read. Okay, that's step 1. If you're reading a book at the moment about marketing or leadership or a novel in English, whatever, a recipe, whatever it may be, you have 1 page. Okay, so step 1 is to get that 1 page, and you're going to work on this 1 page for 1 week. Okay, so step 2 then is to read. You're going to do this on Monday. You're going to read that 1 page, get your pen or your highlighter, underline all the new words that you want to remember or that you don't understand in English. That's it. You do this in 10 minutes. Okay, all of these lifestyle activities should not take hours. They should be 10 minutes, something you can do consistently every day. So 10 minutes, Monday morning or Monday evening, whatever suits your schedule, read that 1 page, underline the words you don't understand. Finished for Monday. Tuesday, you're going to read that same page again, but this time you're going to look up those words and find the meaning. Okay, remember, do this in English. Don't look up in your native language. Look it up, find out what it means in English. And create a note. Can you remember the 3 things? When you make a note, what are the 3 things? the original sentence, the definition in English, the original sentence, and then finally your own sentence. Okay, so make a note, record the new vocabulary. Tuesday, 10 minutes, finished. Wednesday, you're going to read that same page again and you're going to try to remember what those words mean. Let me just quickly tell you here about the memory. Maybe you know this already. So Jim Quick, one of the top guys in the world for memory, tells us that there is no memorization. There is no technique. There is nothing in the brain that we call memorizing, right? How does the brain remember something? It remembers by trying to recall what it was, right? So on Tuesday, you're going to see that word and not look at the notes, not yet. You look at the word and then you try to remember, what does that word mean again? What is that sentence? This recall or trying to remember is what's strengthening that neural pathway in your brain, right? The more times you try to remember, the easier it gets to remember. Simple, right? So that's what you're doing on Tuesday. You are reading the same page again and you're trying to remember. That's it. And then if you cannot remember, you can look it up in your notes. Thursday, you're going to do the same thing again. Read and repeat. Read and try to remember the words again. On Wednesday, maybe you'll remember 60% of the words. On Thursday, you're going to remember 80 or 90% of the words. If you don't remember them, check your notes. And then finally on Friday, same thing again. Read the same page again. On Friday, you will remember all of the words. And if you don't, continue on Saturday and Sunday. That's it. That's the vocabulary mining activity. That is the best activity I can share with you here. And those are the 6 steps to mastering vocabulary and making sure that you don't go through that stress of trying to remember words again in the future. Okay? Use this system. Give yourself 10 minutes every day and give yourself 1 year. And in 1 year, you're going to transform your English vocabulary. Remember, I told you at the start, most people believe that this is a problem with their vocabulary. I told you I was going to tell you it's not always true. In my experience, when people first talk to me for help or they apply to join my program, they're doing this. They're trying to, I can't remember that word. Sometimes I give them that word, and when I give them the word, they say, I knew that word already. That always happens to me. I just can't remember it. This is not a vocabulary problem. This is an activation problem. You have a lot of dormant vocabulary already in your head. I know this. Dormant means asleep, by the way. So with the correct practice, you can activate that language that's in your head. This is why I see my students in a few weeks, their English fluency transforms. It looks like magic. It's not really magic. It's just that they got the right practice. They started living in English and all that language in their head starts to unlock and starts to flow. So within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, depending on the practice you do, you can unlock that language and you can feel so good when it finally starts to flow. So remember, the key thing in all of this is using the language. Just reading is not going to do this for you. Okay? And remember, if you're looking for a place to get that practice in a safe, supportive environment with amazing people from all around the world who have a goal just like you can comment activate below. We'll have a conversation, no pressure, and if it's a good match, we'll talk about how we can work together. Sound good? All right. For now, you have the best system for developing and activating your vocabulary. Use it. Enjoy. I'll see you soon.